Hello, beautiful people. My name's Kristin. Thank you so much for taking time to stop by my channel, hang out with me, have a little coffee, tea, whatever it is that you like to do, just to take a break, because we could use some distractions and everything. And I was thinking about my weekly vlogs last week where I kind of talk about the school and the teacher situation. And then in the same video, of course, I'm talking about Nordstrom anniversary sale and Target, great deals. And, it seems weird on one hand to be talking about things that are kind of silly on a level when you're talking about things that are so real and raw and just important. But I think during this time, that's okay. We need to find those breaks, those distractions, and I want my channel to really kind of be more focused on those distractions and those breaks. I am very immersed in the situation. I work with teenagers, so I'm trying to support not only them, but their parents, the teachers, the community. We've got a lot of resources and buildings and places to spread out and maybe be social distanced, and what's the right course? How do we respond during this time? And this is all new. We're making this up in this chapter in our lives, and that's stressful. So I am in constant thought and prayer for each of those that I come in contact with through the YouTube community, and just offer up just some grace, some peace, some trying to take a deep breath, and then hopefully I can be some of that distraction, and I try not to mention it. I do in my vlogs in the morning with my coffee, right after usually I walk the dog. So a lot of times you can hear her heavy breathing or coming around. Her food and water bowl is right over my shoulder, but this is where I kind of like to sit in the morning and look out the window and drink my coffee. So I just like to share it with you, and I appreciate that. And I will hopefully bring some things that are interesting, and you can bring them back to me in the comments. I love to interact, and we will see what we have on our hearts and minds this week. Okay, it is Monday. I am sweaty, got my first cup of coffee, just got back from the dog walking, and we actually ran around an event center. And I don't know I don't know exactly how far it was, but it's one of those that has a whole stadium in it. So I'm hoping it was the quarter mile, but it was just great to be outside and to run and to feel good about it. And that injured ankle is a little sore, but it's functioning, and I'm very happy and thankful. And I do want to share a couple things with you this morning that are kind of just a product review, but kind of a funny story too. First off, this pure Brazilian hair frizz leave-in serum. I love this. This is a great product. I would buy this again. And I'm gonna go shower right after I'm done talking to you, and this is gone, but I'm using the other one that I got now, Dr. something frizzies. I don't know, we'll compare the two. So we'll compare the two. I am looking for a permanent leave-in conditioner for my hair. It's just thick and wiry. Okay, so this is the product. I have to tell the story about this. It says bubble tea, and it's like a Moroccan mint shower gel, right? So when I first opened this up and was squeezing it, it looks like blue, almost toothpaste gel. It came out and then it would suck back in, and I'd squeeze it and it would come out and then it would suck back in. And it was just I just started laughing because it's just I can't get it out. But then once it got started, kind of broke the seal, if you will, or maybe it was a little congealed at the opening. It came out fine, and I thought at first that I loved it. It was lathering so well. It was nice and foamy. I thought it was fun. It had made me laugh. I thought I'm probably gonna look and see if this is a reasonable price and buy some more. And then I started how smells give you that association of something? And I'm like, this smells so familiar. And then I realized it was reminding me of being in the dentist office. That fluoride, scrubby doctor or dentist office mint paste that they And so then I can't get it out of my head. And I mean, it's fine, but it is actually a little pricey for shower gel. So I won't be getting this again, but it was awfully fun trying it. I mean, as far as experiences of trying out a product, this ranks up there. It gave me a lot of interesting thoughts. So I really enjoy all these boxes that send you samples and things to try out and new products. And I watched, you know, several other people's that do show their empties or do the reviews, and I've started to buy some, although to be honest, when you get so many boxes, you don't need to buy very much, right? So stay tuned for the rest of the week. We will see what comes up, and I look forward to talking to you then. Happy Tuesday. The storm passed through. We kind of all slept in just a little bit, and it stayed cool, so could walk the dog as soon as the rains quit. And we just did a kind of around the block, and when I knew it was a quarter mile to go, we just ran it home. No problems. Super excited about that. So I'm getting ready to film a gray transition hair update, which I'm pretty excited about. Those are my most popular videos, and that makes me happy. It's like if I can encourage one person, then that's a really beautiful, special thing to me. And what I wanted to share though in my vlog today is when I did my book reviews, I always have an outline of what I kind of want to share, but then I just kind of go off my heart based off the outline. I don't have it all scripted out. So I forgot something really cool that I want to share. So here's your bonus tip, is the author Wally Lamb. When I got this at the Dollar Tree, and then I came home and realized this was the current book I was reading, Wally Lamb. So I said, gosh, how many Wally Lambs can there be? So I looked him up, and there's, of course, a Wikipedia about him. And you may want to go read it, because at the bottom, he is a writing professor, and he's been doing a program in a women's prison, and getting them to share their stories and helping them write. And he's put together so far 2 books that have been published. So the first book they had published, it made like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so he allotted each of the women who wrote it to receive that when she was released from prison. And it was thousands of dollars for each woman to start a new life. And the prison said, oh, well, we're going to charge you $116 for every day you were in prison out of that money, because that's what it cost us to house you. And Wally Lamb's like, whoa, 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 no, you're not. So he actually sued the prison system. They shut down his program. They settled out of court, they reinstated his program, and he got the women their money. So that is just an awesome, beautiful thing that makes me such a fan of Wally Lamb. So I will be reading more of his books. Hey, babe.
Hi. Sorry.
It's all good. Real life. So we will be reading more of his books. So look forward to finding out some more things that he wrote, but he's my hero and favorite just because of that story. I think that's almost better than some of his stories. So y'all have a super day. I will see you tomorrow. It is actually Thursday. I skipped a day or two. Yesterday, my car was having trouble again, and so right at the crack of dawn when it opened, I took it in, and then we had to deal with making that decision where you have an older car and how much do you invest in it. So we really wrestled with it, and we're fixing it. We want to try to get through. We just went for a quick walk. I'm sweating. The dog's drinking. We want to try to get through at least one more year, and then both the boys will not be living under the roof. One will be away at college, and one has plans to be in a house renting with some friends. So that will take living costs down for our car payment. But so we're hoping these repairs are going to give us that time, but we'll see. Life is not guaranteed, right? And then this morning I had to take a very quick heated walk with the dog because I'm going to the funeral memorial service for a young woman who was just a couple of years older than my son. And she wasn't in my youth group, but she belonged to the church right next to our church, and our youth groups would do things together. And so she just really, really idolized and, you know, followed after her youth leader that I was good friends with. And so when we did things together, she was just always wanting to help and follow us, and just so, so sweet. She had a lot of challenges in life, especially kind of economically and education-wise, and just even spent some struggle with homelessness and coming to our church for meals, for assistance. And unfortunately, she listened to another, well, this is alleged, this is still in trial, but supposedly the story is a gentleman who had some mental issues that was homeless led her astray, and we think is the one who took her life. So there's a memorial service, mass required, outside in the park. So I'm gonna go and honor her and her family. And yeah, so not really positive things, and yet it's those kind of times that we look for, like, what the heck, right? And my dad had just sent me some money that I was, you know, under some excuse about some tax break or some investment that had actually paid off during this time or something like that. You know how parents are, trying to bless you. So I had set it aside to go to our vacation fund, because I'm going to try to take the boys on and away to the beach a couple days later in the fall. And so I set that aside, but then I had the money for the car. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll figure out the vacation. You know, that's just like one of those things. Some people will just dismiss it, but I just really think instead of coincidences, those are God incidences. Those are, like, you know, a divine creator that cares. That's like noticing those things for us, or we notice, but you know, laying those things out for us to notice. So, and just, you know, I'm going to be looking for those things as I go and celebrate this young woman's life today, and just try to look for those legacies and good things in the midst of a real tragedy. So I will head out to that and come back. I just have some work and some filming, and I've got another Stitch Fix coming up, so that will be something lighthearted and happy to also distract. So take care, stay safe, I will see you. It is Friday, so most people's weekend, usually my weekends are busier though than my weekdays. But I have a lot I want to share with y'all today about yesterday. I know I told you I was going to the memorial service for Sarah, for the young woman who had been murdered, and it was amazing. It was just one of the most touching things I've ever experienced. It was in a park, so we could be outside with masks, still kind of spread out on the lawn there. And it was a huge crowd though, huge crowd. And her best friend got up and spoke and told stories about them just going to the grocery store and buying funky sodas, and then they were all disgusting, and how they were just laughing and laughing, and just forevermore that was like one of their running jokes, right? And her mom got up and talked about how her and Sarah just always were kind of frustrated with each other and at odds, and she would share these stories about how she would try to tell Sarah, you know, you can't always trust people have your best interest, because she was so loving and so kind and so sharing, and that was the theme that everybody in the park was talking about, just her beautiful spirit. And she had, I don't know what her exact diagnosis was, I know that she had some special needs, just had a more simple way of looking at people in life and not being able to fully filter out social dangers, which is what got her in trouble, right? And you know, her mom told this story where she said, you know, I would go to Sarah and I'd say, you know, you got your disability check today, let's figure out a way to help you budget that for the month. And she'd say, she'd say, "What money?" And she'd say, "Sarah, what do you get?" And she would tell a story about how the Piccadilly Grill just smelled so good, and she hadn't had a steak dinner in a long time, and there's probably some other people that really could use a steak dinner, and she took people out and bought a steak dinner, and she had $37 left. And it was just lots of stories about this, where if she had something, even if she needed it, if somebody else needed it, it never occurred to her not to give hers away. And this is who I knew her to be. She was always in the forefront of wanting to help, wanting to give herself. And her mom, in the end, was just like, I don't know which of us was wrong. Because, Sarah gave herself so fully. And she trusted and gave her heart fully. And even though it got her in trouble, her mom said, who's to say some of those people didn't really need that steak dinner? Or at least if they didn't need it, that they really appreciated it. At least that's her hope. And judging by the crowd and all of us there, that was true. And I needed to, I forgot. And then there was these buckets of rose petals. So we were encouraged to come take the rose petals and throw them up into the air over the gardens or in the park to kind of say goodbye and see where Sarah would go, And that she was now dancing in heaven and seeing how high she could jump and all these things. And then her mom said, normally, we do flower the grave, but she thought that Sarah would be happier if she shared, right? That's what she was about. So they gave everybody a rose to take. And I just thought that was so lovely. And I needed to go pick up another youth to go serve at our food shelter. They distribute lunches, so I didn't stay. I took my rose, and as I'm walking out, there was another young woman who was leaving with me. And I said, gosh, that was one of the most touching services I think I've ever been to. And she said, yeah. And I asked her name. Her name was Molly. And I said, how did you know Sarah? And she said, well, I just saw her out and about in the community, and I used to work at Hobby Lobby and would see her come through. And one day, I started talking to her like I often did, and she said, oh, I'm moving out. And I said, oh, you got your own place? And she goes, no, I'm going to be on this bench. And so Molly was like, well, do you want to stay at my place tonight? And she said Sarah came over to her house, and they spent one night together, and she said it was just so touching and meaningful, and she never really had a lot of encounters with her even after that, but it had touched her so deeply. She had come to pay her respects and say goodbye to who she was. So it's just amazing. So then I go pick up my youth, and it's great to touch base, right? Her mom gave us permission, even though I was picking her up. We wore our masks and kept apart, and passed out lunches and meals to the homeless. And just hearing their stories, some of them taking lunches to other people. We were able to give seconds, so some of them came back and had seconds with us, and it seemed like there was still going to be a few meals left over. So I said, well, I'm going to call the Evans home and see if they're home, if they need them, because it's a home that's for at-risk foster kids, and for whatever reason need a place to be temporarily, and some of them are even homeless. And I called, and there was no one there. I left a message. And then we got a second wave. It was raining, and started raining, and we didn't think anybody else was coming, but then they did. So we gave out all the meals, and but then the Evans home calls me, and so I explained what's going on, and we are going to be doing this again. So I said, are y'all in town? Can we bring leftover food? What's going on at the Evans home? How's everything that's going on affecting? And basically, the kids used to have activities and school and all these things that they would go to, and then the caretakers had time to clean or to prep meals or to do all these things. But now the kids are there literally 24/7. They're going to do full distance learning. They're going to be there literally all the time. They've got a great big yard and outside area. They've got, you know, activities for the kids, but basically the caretakers don't get much of a break at all. So they need all these things to help with pickups, with meal prep, with all this stuff. So I just had this amazing conversation with the director. She emailed me all the information. I've distributed that to groups and to our mission committee that can probably help and meet some of those needs. But I wouldn't have had that conversation if I hadn't been distributing the meals and thought that maybe you know what I'm saying? Like, it all builds upon itself. It's like how we communicate and share has a pattern, it has a purpose, it has direction. I mean, some people could say that's random, but that's not my belief system. I believe that that's the God, you know, that's the spirit that leads us to help one another. And I'm just really, really grateful today. And, you know, today is much more kind of selfish focused. I've got PT and things that I just need to be about personally, but I'm going to be looking continuously. I'm going to look today. What are the things that pop up that maybe I can have an encouraging word or, you know, give something back. So that is my Friday. I hope y'all go into the weekend blessed as well, and I will talk to you tomorrow. It is Sunday now, in between church and youth group, and I'm just back in my bedroom because the house is full. Yesterday, Saturday morning, I got up and walked the dog, but by the time I got back, people were up and meeting me, and I actually work Saturday online with my youth group trying to plan out the rest of the semester, which went really well, but I didn't have time to film. And it was my niece's birthday. She's 3. She's the most adorable 3-year-old ever. I will insert a picture somehow, somewhere to show the cuteness because it's got to share the goodness. And yeah, and then today, this morning, I could have made time to film, but I was just kind of being a little slow and lazy and enjoying my morning and didn't do it. So I thought I'd pop on real quick because I had mail I got yesterday that I wanted to share from Alex, Life of a City Girl. I won her giveaway, so I haven't pulled it out yet, just opened it, so I thought I would share that, and I will link her channel below. You should check her out. She does a lot of amazing unboxings, including Ipsy and some Macy's beauty products, and she does several boxes I don't do. So anyway, I just started getting Ipsy about 4 months ago now, so I received this bag, but I love it. It's like almost like a jelly. And it's waterproof and it's great, so I don't mind having another one. And then this was a little makeup remover that she got from her Macy's Beauty, so of course I don't have this. And Ipsy's one of those that sends you different things, so I don't think the stuff she sent me is stuff that I have. Let me pull this out. Ooh, this is cute. It's like little fuzzy remover, so this is cute, and you can hang it up to dry. I like that. So this is a Tarte, and it's got the protective seal, and this is Park Avenue Princess. So I'm not sure if that's a bronzer and eyeshadow. It's very light. Can't really see it. It's a great color for me. It's gonna blend in really, really well. I've gotten a little tan from being outside with all the walking and beaching, and this is a Jelly Glow Peel exfoliator with fruit enzymes, and it's Bliss. I like Bliss, so I will definitely use that to exfoliate. I don't have that. This is Natural Nude from Naked Cosmetics. Looks like a little shimmer eyeshadow. Ooh, it's not even open. I'll open that in a minute. And Dr. Lip Miracle Balm. glossy. So I am actually, it looks almost like I'm wearing a lip color, right? This is just that watermelon lip oil. I'm obsessed with it. It is my favorite thing to wear now this summer. And I bought the big tube, and I'm still almost done with the sample. Yeah, but I might give this a try too. Or I may gift that to somebody. I won't open it until I decide. I'll probably use it though, because I want it, so it's mine. So thank you, Alex. Love it. That's an awesome, awesome thing. I'm a lucky girl. I don't know that I've ever won. I've won stuff in my life, but I don't know that I've won anything on YouTube ever before. In fact, I know I've never won anything on YouTube before. So that's exciting. So I am going to finish this vlog on Tuesday and post it on Wednesday. So stay tuned. I'm going to share the goodness for Monday and Tuesday, and we'll wrap it up. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Walk the dog for an hour. Heading to the gym. I'm gonna do my first half-mile run. Wish me well, y'all. Happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. I'm gonna wrap this up so I can get this posted. I had a really good day yesterday. I ran the half-mile on the treadmill like my therapist had told me. And it went well. And so I'm gonna go do it again right now. Just got done walking the dog. We walked 45 minutes. And I'll just throw out there, I had a really discouraging evening. But today is a new day. We're not gonna dwell on that. It is just the way it is right now. You know, things are easily to get discouraged, and we need to focus on the positive. So I'm gonna go plan that this next half mile is gonna be well too. Actually, the hardest part about it was running half a mile. I'm out of shape. I've completely, it's been so long I've lost my cardio. So it's harder to do that, I think, than on the ankle. So that's okay. That's a good sign. So we will go do that. I will end this just lifting up thoughts and prayers for each of you to find the positive, focus on that, try to release the negative and the things that discourage us, especially those things that are out of our control, right? It's not in my control. It's just not. So gotta let that stuff go, let it be what it is, and receive whatever it is. Hopefully be productive today. Just going to the landfill and the grocery store and some of those things. So lots of mass, lots of hot, sweaty out and about. So we're gonna do it. Y'all have an awesome day. I will see you next week for my weekly coffee chats. Hope to see you then.